Hey friends, thanks for watching On 7. If you'd like to support this channel, check out the QR code right here. And please, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.
Jamara, Komara, Jangara, Nyanwarich, Mira Jaranga Bojara, Nyere Bojana, Kwaba Bojara. So what we say is Demara, Gomara, Jangara, as Demara, Gomara, ancestors, and Jangara, the spirit of the ancestors. We say we come, Mira Jananga Boyara, we come to see the country.
Punk rock, hip hop, the love of country, all around the world, searching for those funky beats. 7 continents, 7 melodies, writing these songs, singing harmonies.
It's official. I am on continent number 7, Oceania, aka Australia, waking up in a van.
Let me get you up to speed. My name's Kevin Kennedy III. I'm a singer-songwriter from North Platte, Nebraska, on a mission to write 7 songs on 7 continents in 7 weeks.
Or at least it was supposed to be 7 weeks, but COVID had shut down the world and Australia. So,
here I sit in the van 2.5 years later without a crew or my manager.
David's not here. He moved on with his life.
Hey Kevin, so good to hear from you. I actually wanted to get earlier back to you, but now we are on vacation.
Vacation?
That's great. It's amazing that you made it all the way to Australia.
So literally he's on vacation when he could have been here.
I would love to be there.
I don't have a crew. I just am putting the camera on myself. And I'm gonna finish this project.
I arrived in Australia with no plan, just a mission in mind. Thankfully, my good buddy Paul Phillips, who I hadn't seen in 10 years, lived here.
How was the van last night? Sorry I made you walk up through the muddy field in the rain.
I slept really good. This house is beautiful, man.
It was a fun project, but it took a lot of time and energy, and ultimately it was well worth it.
Can you give us a little tour?
I mean, it's a pretty quick tour because it's like 19 square meters. So yeah, this is the kitchen. I mean, it's fairly basic. We have an electric oven which we power from the solar panels. This is the bathroom. We have like a composting toilet. It goes into a bucket down there, and there's a fan that extracts all the fumes up to like a higher altitude, and then every 3 to 6 months you bury the bucket, and it makes really good compost.
Okay.
Yeah. And then up here is the sleeping loft. It's not like head high, so you can't stand up in it. But it's got an awesome view out over the forest, and it's got a skylight, so you look up into the trees. Like downstairs, you want the house to have loads of headroom and feel really large, and then when you come up here, you want it to be much more cozy and have a much safer feeling.
I had a great time catching up with Paul, but it was time to hit the road. I know we had our chance, but let it get away. I'm coming back to town just for a little stay, so how about you and me? Head right this way. This is Fremantle, a port city in Western Australia known for its funky street art, eclectic music scene, and alfresco cafes. I was headed to the Wild Bakery to meet up with a local singer-songwriter by the name of Chloe Schofield.
Chloe?
Kev. Hi, man.
What's up? I'm feeling salty.
I don't really have much
What are
left.
those roll things?
Spinach and ricotta rolls, or there's normal sausage rolls?
Okay. I'll do the vegetarian sandwich.
What you want to do? What you want to do? What you want to do? Chloe and I started vibing immediately, and we were quick to compare cities in the US to Australia.
Fremantle, just how the city looks, reminds me of like New Orleans, but way cleaner and polished, but just kind of like those balconies and like the vibe a little bit.
So your like main genre is like surf country. How have you found songwriting with people who sort of sit in different genres and?
Like my big thing is just like if you're open to create. The culture behind surfing is so much about traveling and exploring and appreciating the cultures that you go into. You have this food, you talk to the locals. I think the surf element also lends itself to like world instruments, world music.
I get really bad imposter syndrome. It's like sometimes when I book to play gigs, I get real like, I don't deserve to be here.
I feel that too sometimes. If you get around really good musicians.
That's an interesting concept that I've never dived into when it comes to like being a musician, but I also feel like you can feel that way in a relationship as well, that you feel like you don't belong with that person.
So I had, it feels like you want more from me than I can give, but I know it's mostly in my head. From the inside out, I feel the pressure weighing in, but from the outside in, I'm holding stead. It feels like you want more from me than I can give, but I know it's mostly in my head.
Who am I to take these reins? Right off till the sun turns pink through an open field where the sunflowers sing.
Or maybe I don't belong here.
Maybe I don't belong here, yeah.
Maybe I don't belong here.
And who am I to take these reins? Right off till the sun turns pink through a field where the sunflowers sing.
I think it was very clever of you to pick Western Australia and Fremantle to do what you're doing, because this is where it's happening in music at the moment. It's a really unusual, we're the most remote place in the world as a city. There's nowhere close to us. So a lot of Perth people aren't looking outside, they're writing music having never been anywhere.
Joanna Robertson is the owner and director of the beautiful Kidogo Arthouse.
This is one of the oldest buildings in Western Australia, and it was built to store dangerous goods. So all the kerosene for the street lamps and anything that would blow up was put in here. I changed it to become a place where Aboriginal people would come to become famous for being amazing at what their knowledge and their culture and their music and their songwriting. And so I wanted to focus on the success of Aboriginal people and helping them to become successful, not focus on all the social problems, but how to become successful.
What's your biggest advice as far as reaching out to those communities and to those artists?
I think one of the biggest challenges in working with Aboriginal communities is they have had endless white people being paid by the government to go in there and do stuff without them being invited. Be humble and to learn from them. It's the curiosity, the personal interest rather than it being the taking.
With Joanna's encouragement, I reached out to Kenneth Dawson, an Aboriginal man who had moved from the bush to the city and was eager to share his culture.
What's up, man?
Good, how are you?
Kevin,
Kenny.
Through the process of writing, it's led me to really want to investigate the native people, the people of this country. I like to play country music.
That's good.
I'm from the remote area in the United States.
I'm from the Kimberley, so Western Australia, the northern Western Australia. I moved down to Perth about a year ago now.
And how has it been living in the city?
Oh man, it's very different, and hard too, to be able to fit in from the ways that I've been brought up. Living here in the city got me thinking, how can I become like these people here? For the time being, I've experienced it, I've had enough. Yeah.
What's been the hardest adjustment coming from your community in the north to the city?
Communicating. So back home we'd gather around the campfire, or even morning time, have a little cup of tea. We'd have a sing-along in language, and we've always communicated through dance, music, singing, with the clapping stick and the didgeridoo. Whatever story we tell about hunting, we make that a song Mura malo guar gandre dare gangara yoloro gidbangani yoloro gidbangani. So that song is about year. So you got the kingfisher, blue kingfisher. So that blue kingfisher, you're looking around for food. We find it fascinating. So when we sing, we're communicating, but in our way, it's a communication between us to the spirits. You know, when time like this now, when the wind blow, you sit down and you breathe, you know, because you know the spirit is coming. So you make way and you open yourself up, you know, and so they come to you and you become the spirit, and that you not only become the spirit, you become the spirit of the land.
As Kenneth and I continued to swap stories, I knew we had to write a song together.
I've already been inspired by you and what you were saying about how you felt moving to the city. I left my country, I left my state, left my hometown, and went and traveled the world and saw all these cultures and all these people. You think it's going to be better in some other place, but sometimes it's not what you thought it would be or what it's cracked up to be.
You only can grow is when you feel peace and you feel like you can learn and also give back, you know?
I'm imagining like the imagery of being at home and dreaming of going and taking the long road to the city, you know?
Yeah. Can I have that book, bro?
Please.
Get a little. Left the stars for the city light. Thought it'd be land to me, like what I saw on the movie screens. Say Tangandi?
Tangali?
Tangandi.
Tangadi.
Tangandi.
Tangandi.
Giaggi.
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 Tangandi Giaggi.
Tangaji. Tangaji. Giaggi. Tangandi. Gigaji. Migami.
Yeah, Migami. So that means I'm speaking, but I feel sorry for myself.
Okay. Migamiya.
And you get a little twist too, you know? Tangandi Giaggi Migamiya.
I'm gonna have to practice.
You started it.
Left the stars for the city lights.
The fact of the matter is, no matter where you go in the world, you can relate to people. Kenneth had left the countryside for the city life. I had left the countryside of the USA to explore the world. But like Kenneth, I had enough of the city, and I was ready to see the countryside of Australia. Kenneth had inspired me, so I jumped in a truck and headed south for about 3.5 hours to a town called Margaret River.
Hand out the window, but I can't let go, you know. Got tickets to the circus show.
Made it to Margaret River, or Moggs, as the locals call it, and it is spectacular here. I don't think in my life I've ever seen a rainbow like this. It's so bright. I've dreamed of coming here for years, and the dream has come true. This is the Wadundy Budja area, and it means forest and saltwater people. So you're gonna see these old forests come straight to the ocean here. We're gonna go surfing, we're gonna write some music, and just take it all in. Well, it's raining. These are some big waves. This is a real deal here.
If you're keen, we could get out there and get something at least. Actually, if you pop this open,
yeah,
down there should be a book. That's the Bible.
We decided to ditch the waves because of the weather, and it was pretty blown out. But Margaret River is known for its wine, so we headed to a cellar door, Skigh Wines.
Music was the catalyst for the space. My mate who owns the property, we were playing in a band together, and this building down here, the old barn, was our jam space. And out here you can make as much noise as you want until as early in the morning as you want, and no one cares.
And there was plenty of those.
And there were a couple of those, yeah.
Just a few?
Just a few. I said to him, oh mate, can we just put a cellar door here? It'd be amazing. And he's like, yeah, go on.
We opened in June 2020, in the height of COVID. People thought, yeah, you guys are just bloody idiots. But here we are.
It's worked out all right.
And it's just gone epically.
We've got a couple of ranges of wines named after songs or albums or musical phrases. Music is a lot like winemaking, you know, it's art, but it's not art.
Music sort of, it's just part of our lives.
Yeah.
And it's part of our wine life as well.
Yeah. So this one, for instance, Strange Brew, it's a song by Cream. If you listen to the song and drink the wine, you kind of understand both better.
Okay.
And I think, you know, it's a long bow to draw sometimes to people who don't get music and people who don't get wine. But if you understand both, you can really see the similarities.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to see our record shop?
I would love that, yeah.
Come and have a look.
Yeah.
Go inside.
Yeah.
Bring your glass.
We have a heap of vinyls, and people thrive on these vinyls. They come through and they flick through all the vinyl range, and some of the stuff there that's 30, 40 years old.
Wow.
And people are still buying them. Oh, I haven't seen this for ages. It's just that whole vinyl revolution in music is really coming back.
Yeah. Skigh and Craig had made some amazing wine, so I was excited to see how their vineyard functioned.
So this whole region is, you know, initially a lot of the farmland down here was opened up post-war. A lot of returning soldiers were gifted 100 acres and a rifle, and they could keep the land if they cleared it.
I don't really like Chardonnay, but that's good.
It is good. I think the region does Chardonnay pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of organic wineries in the area here?
There's a real collective sort of consciousness in the region about the earth and what we're doing to it, and making sure that our children can do what we're doing without any, you know, bad consequences. Everything's stronger for it.
Yeah.
Have a look at this dirt, mate. I mean, you could eat that.
And that feels like a dare.
I want to see you eat it, actually. I will if you will. You go first.
Yeah. Oh, look at the time.
Yeah. When you pick up a handful of dirt, squeeze it like that, and it sort of holds structure, but it's a bit crumbly, that's a good thing. I mean, it's not our land. It's our children's land.
Yeah.
Let's eat some cheese and drink some more wine and talk shit.
And finally free.
As the sun started to set, we headed into Margaret River for some live music. This poppin' venue is known as The River, and it's where I met Dan White, a local musician and artist who was also the sound man for the venue.
Was in the alley that can't seem to rally. I'm doing this all on my own. Took a walk through the park, way up the dock. Why didn't I take you home? Now it's too soon.
He seemed like an awesome dude, and I thought it would be great to write with him. So we made plans to meet early the next day. Real early. At 5 a.m.
Ready for a little surf session, dude?
Let's go. What's the mood when you wake in the morning? So been gone and it's life got boring. Are you rested from a good night's sleep when you jump out of bed?
How's it looking, man?
Think about me. Hey.
I mean, there's a little one at lefties. A little bit of wind on it.
This isn't the best representation, huh?
How desperate are you to surf today?
Pretty desperate, dude. I'm from Nebraska, so you know.
Oh man.
I've dreamed of surfing in this area of the world for a long time, and today it's finally gonna happen.
Let's go surfing, brah.
Actually, I should use the Australian.
Hey, let's go surfing, mate.
That's my terrible
It's getting there.
Australian accent.
Let's go for a surf, mate. Hey, let's go for a surf, mate.
Catalyst to another sleepless night. Your
voice in the alley put the song on fire. You were singing like an angel over Savannah Sea. I'm crashing, I'm burning, and this is where we start to meet. The August days slip away, the summer fades, the winter days. Your eyes got me in a day, so I can't even see a shred. Only thing that I need is for you and me to be something different than what we expected. So hold the phone, don't leave me alone.
I was having a blast surfing, but I couldn't help but notice the helicopters kept passing by the surf break.
Come to Margaret River, sharks will eat you. There's a boat that goes out once a day to catch sharks, basically, and then they take them back out to sea.
Oh, no way.
It's like the shark relocation service.
Are they?
Hey, big old whale out there. You see the big splash?
Baby, you were looking pretty, I just wanna be your only one. Show you around town, hoping we can make out under the rising sun. Drop the notion you were taking, but you're running from the abyss of love. Hold the phone, don't leave me alone, and call me when you're done. Just call me. Call me when you're done. Just call me. Call me when you're done.
What a beautiful day. We're at or the secret spot. Don't want too many people to come here. Caught some waves with Dan and just had a blast. These boys are spoiled out here.
Nice. Get a couple good ones?
Yeah. This was fun, yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
Better than yesterday, huh?
Yeah. Fun wave though.
Yeah, hey.
Margaret River, check.
Yeah.
What's the vibe as far as music concerned here?
I mean, we're very lucky. There's a lot of musos around town. It's a very, very rich part of the world in terms of art and culture. Plenty of wineries, breweries around town, and a couple of great live music venues. Surf's awesome, the community's amazing.
I'm only here for a day now, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave this spot. It's so good.
No, why would you? It's a trade-off, right? You love to live out in a place like this, but you're part of a smaller scene.
Where does your inspiration come from?
It's all about looking on the bright side of life. You know, even maybe in the bad, I guess I'm trying to see the world through that kind of lens.
If we're gonna write, do you have any like inspiration from this week or today?
Something that's been on my mind lately a lot is the creative side of your brain, the creative like energies, and then also the organizational aspect. Like, you know, you're booking your own shows, you're organizing a film, bro. Like I guess the more administrative aspects of the job. And that's always a push and pull, right? For any musician who isn't lucky enough to have all of that taken care of. And I guess for me, I've been like very much lately in the other side of the court, sending a lot of emails, doing the organisation. And that has inevitably taken those hours away from creativity, making music. Point now where I'm starting to pull that rope back in the opposite direction, start writing again.
That you almost have this tug of war going on. Yeah. It doesn't allow you to be just completely creative. And it takes away from that creativity.
But at the same time, like, you gotta think about what your priorities are.
As a songwriter and artist, it's always difficult balancing the creative side of the job with the administrative parts.
I guess it's, for me, about focusing on writing songs, being creative, showing up every day. So what do you reckon? We just start out getting down all the words that we can think of in like 3 minutes time. I'll put a timer on, and that we can associate with that idea of like the push and pull. You know, maybe bring back that metaphor of the rope.
You gonna start it?
Sounds good.
And action.
Oh, that was a flurry.
Yeah.
What'd you come up with?
All right, I got need and want, fulfillment, and stand still. Barriers are put up to protect my soul. The mind knows, but the ego won't let go. Showed up for the battle again. The war keeps raging between the fulfillments and the could-have-beens.
Yeah, so push and pull, pulling the rope, priorities. What really matters, creativity, making it, focused on making it, but are you really making it? Are you making it or not?
Another suit and tie, the uniform for today's battle.
you know, that tug of war, you're pulling the rope, right? But then if you're like pushing, like it can constrict you.
You think you're in tug of war, but actually you're tied up. It's a completely different thing with the rope. What you were perceiving wasn't what actually was happening.
Yeah.
Letting it slip by. And it's been raging on for years, consolidating all my fears. So who's left when the fibers start to fray? 'Cause it's a push and pull.
Sometimes on this trip, I forget to just stop and enjoy the magical moments that are taking place in front of me. Here I am at the mouth of Margaret River, watching the beautiful sunset and the waves crashing in on the beach. There's something really special about this place for sure. There's an energy here, there's a vibe that there's not a lot of places in the world. Just like that, another day has come and gone in Australia.
Zach?
Kaya.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Welcome to Warandi Boyara saltwater country here. So when we come down to the river, we use our mara. Our mara is our hands. We grab some quail, which is just the sand. And what we do is rub our mara underneath our armpit. We're putting our smell out into country, and country likes to smell who's visiting them. Jamara, Gomara, Jangara, Nyanwarech, Mira Jaranga Bojara, Nyere Bojana, Kwaba Bojara.
I spent the day with Zach learning how the Aboriginals survived in this beautiful environment. He showed me which plants were good for eating and which were good for medicine. He explained how their society functioned and shared stories of their history and culture. But there was a dark side to their past in conjunction with the colonization of Australia.
And in 1905, there was an act. No Aboriginal person was allowed to marry anyone of ethnic descent, as it will perpetuate the stain upon their skin.
That's sick.
In 1967, Australia voted yes to the Aborigines, saying that they were human beings and that they could be counted on the census and as actual humans now.
It's wild when you see hatred, really, how it can affect another area of the world.
So this whole COVID thing that we went down with lockdowns and COVID passports and vaccinations and 2 jabs and you're not allowed to eat at restaurants, our people went through that from 1905 all the way up to the 1970s. And it's not a blame game, it's nothing about a blame game, but if we don't recognise this, we're destined to make the same mistakes of the past.
Zach was right. It is so important to know the sins of the past so we don't repeat them. But how did the Aboriginals share their past with the future generations?
Each place has a song to it. So when you want to sing about yalla, 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 you sing about the native bee. When the women sing about warna, warna, they sing about their law digging stick. When you have killed any of the animals on country, we sing boya, boyara, kording. We say, country, take the spirit of the kangaroo. The kangaroo follow the country. We then are allowed to then consume the meat.
So every time something is done, there's always a song that accompanies it.
Yeah. If you make songs to things, it becomes karajan, knowledge. And by incorporating the knowledge into the song, you create an archive or a library, but without having to create books, because the person becomes the living book.
If ever I heard an argument for why songwriting was important, this was it. But I was curious to know if instruments played a significant role in the creative process.
Yiraki is the didgeridoo. So didgeridoo is actually a Gaelic word, and it means wind instrument. So yiraki actually comes from Yolngu country, around that sort of Northern Territory area, using the sticks to make the sticks bang together. And then it's about stomping, so using this ground to make that second offbeat. You see how these are all quite furry? Yep, so the leaf's still got a bit of fur.
I don't know what that is.
Practice, practice, practice.
With my newfound love for the Aboriginal people and their culture, I headed back to Perth to complete the final song on the last continent. This is Dan Ablett, a phenomenal musician, songwriter, and producer. Let's just say he can do it all.
This is where the magic happens?
I guess so. We'll see.
He invited me to his studio to record the song that would define the continent of Oceania.
Swanee D.
Swanee D.
No pressure, right?
West Australia. Yeah.
Cheers. To writing some good music?
Yeah. Are you the kind of person who says, I just love music?
Yes.
I don't see music so much as a thing that I love. It's a language that I speak fluently. It's kind of like the English language, like to me. It's not like, oh, I love the English language. I use the English language to convey my ideas and my thoughts and my feelings.
This had become a theme throughout the trip. Music was about communicating.
What is music, right? It is that everything is moving and vibrating.
Yeah.
We're all part of this giant song that's being played out. All of humanity, you know, resonating through eternity.
Maybe this can be our little theme. One life is all you ever have, and all you give up for it in return is all of the lives you haven't lived.
To be in any of those other lives would make me somebody else. Because any experience that you miss or change in your life would make you a different person.
Whichever path you follow is at the exclusion of every other possible life you could have had. So by kind of letting go of the what ifs, you're free to ask what else or what's next.
To sum it up, maybe the song's called Many Lives. Letting go of the what ifs and to free up the what else.
I was thinking about all the amazing people I had met on this trip. We were all connected, and I learned something from each and every one of them.
What's our flavor?
Are you saying from the sonic side what it should be?
I think there should be elements of structure and chaos. Here's the journey. And then here is kind of
the chaos.
Yeah. I always sort of see a video clip as soon as I hear a song that I'm working on. I see a man walking.
I think about that sometimes, like one day confronting God, and you could say to God, hey, you didn't give me the easy life, and for that reason, like, that's why I made these bad choices. And I always wonder, will God be like, but I'm going to show you every possibility that could have happened, and you still would have made that decision. But it's like really deep song.
Give us a blow and I'll just have a check. We just do one big play through the whole thing, but we'll just go over the whole song once. So you play whatever feels good, like follow what your instinct says.
Do one take, how you feel, and what you feel.
Cracks in time where the walls get bright. Hold my head, just see the light of what could have been and where I stand. Or am I just the silhouette of a man? Just a silhouette, nothing but a silhouette. Just a silhouette. stood a chance, never stood a chance, never really had a chance, never stood a chance. Double exposed so everyone knows I'm positive now, does it really show that my doubts and fears have dealt these blows? Open heart but the mind stays closed. Heart open but my mind stays closed. Heart open but what do I really know? What do I really know? Who do I really know? So many lies, so many takes. Can I undo the past? Can I change my fate? Is it predestiny? What will be, will be. Does it all work for good for those who believe? The sun goes down, but the shadows are still hanging round. Should I turn up the tune and float out into the sound? What ifs to who knows? When can I let go of living a life where I only can see the show for who I am and the choices I've made? Nothing left to prove when I'm searching for the truth. Nothing left to prove, now I'm searching for the truth. Nothing left to prove. And this is me confiding in you. Just gotta make a move, I just gotta find the truth. Just gotta see it through. So many lives, so many takes. Can I undo the past? Can I change my fate? Is it predestiny? What will be, will be. Does it all work for good for those who believe? The sun goes down, but the shadows are still hanging round. Should I turn up the tune and float out into the sound?
Traveling the world to write 7 songs on 7 continents in 7 weeks had turned into 2.5 years. So I really couldn't believe this journey was coming to an end. But this adventure was about more than exploring the world and its cultures, or writing songs and being creative. It was about relationships, because none of this would have been possible without the awesome people I can now call friends. And to them, I say thank you for your music, encouragement, and love.
A light from the road towards the setting sun. The fire's been lit, the damage done. Can you forgive my past and who I've become? Just trying to comprehend the mystery. And so many lives, so many takes. Can I undo the past? Can I change my fate? Is it predestiny? What will be, will be. Does it all work for good for those who believe? The sun goes down, but the shadows are still hanging round. Should I turn up the tune and float out into the sound? When the sun comes up and the shadows all head out, I'll turn up the tune and float out into the sound.
Well, I did it. 7 songs on 7 continents.
I did it too, dude. Check out the On 7 beer I made.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
No way. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, dude. So what's next?
Yeah.
I'm thinking